What do you do when you feel like you've done everything in your power? You've expended all of your resources. You've given everything to step into your dreams, to live your best life, to become better. And you keep falling back into these old patterns, into these old habits, into this old way of life. It's like a black hole. It just pulls you in. And it feels like no matter how hard you try to get out, no matter what you do, it just keeps pulling you back. What do you do when you fall into that trap? As we go through life, as we progress through this journey, we're going to be challenged. You're going to be tested. There's going to be obstacles along the way. These obstacles are rites of passage that will take you to the next level. You have to learn how to see it, how to perceive it in a new light, how to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Because if you cannot see the light, then you inevitably will get lost in the darkness. You will get pulled into the black hole of your mind, of your emotions. It's up to you to make it happen. All of us have a dream. All of us have goals. All of us have a vision for what we want our life to be. But if we do not step into that, if we do not have the courage to rise above these obstacles, then we will never get to a new place in our life. We will never rise to the challenge to meet our new selves, our future version, the version of ourselves where this has been fully realized, where we have stepped into that moment, where we have stepped into the fire of transformation and become something new, something refined. Just like forging a blade. As you forge the blade in the fire, you are going to hone that blade, to hone that piece of metal, to sharpen it. As you continue to put it in the fire and hammer out all those impurities, it's going to get stronger. It's going to get sharper. And just as you go through these obstacles, as you go through these challenges, it's going to sharpen you. It's going to sharpen your blade so that you can cut through whatever comes at you. So you can cut through the obstacles that are standing in your way of your highest destiny. But it's all up to you. We do have people there that will help us, that will remind us what is important to us, that will remind us what it takes to keep moving forward. I recently moved to a new city, and while being here, I felt stuck. I felt stagnant. I felt so overwhelmed by all the new changes happening at once that it just felt like it was insurmountable. I lost my job. I lost the connections that I had in the old city. I lost the momentum that I was building. And it felt like I was down back to square one, that I was back at the bottom. When really this was the new foundation for me to rebuild myself, to become stronger, to become better. Not only that, but it's a new opportunity. And this place that we moved to, my partner and our kids, it's a much better place. It's the last place we lived had mold, and it was overwhelming. But I had picked up momentum. I had carried myself, and through those obstacles, I felt myself getting better and stronger and continuing to grow. But then as we moved, it's like it sucked all that out of me because I spent all of my energy on moving. on taking my life and moving it to a new place, rebuilding from the ground up. And that can be so exhausting. That can be so overwhelming, especially when you don't know where to start and you don't know what to do. And after just being here a week, I felt myself slipping and I didn't know how to get back up. It was like everything felt so heavy. Like, what do I do? Where do I even begin? There's so many things that I need to do, but I felt paralyzed. Like I couldn't move forward, no matter what I did. It just felt overwhelming on every level. And as I began to drop into myself, I started to attune to what I was really feeling. I started to attune to what I really needed, what I truly needed in my life to give me that foundation, to rebuild myself. I started listening to motivational videos. I remember back when I was in college, it literally got me through because I was a physics major. I was studying to be an engineer. And honestly, I felt like a fucking idiot because it was like it never clicked for me. I was always getting help on my assignments. I literally wouldn't have passed if it wasn't for my fellow students. There was like 2 or 3 other kids that helped me. And if I didn't have them there, then I literally wouldn't have passed because I did not know what to do. And I would go to start solving these problems, and I literally didn't know where to start. I didn't even know where to begin. I mean, these advanced calculus physics problems and computer science. I was a computer science minor, a math minor, a physics major. I would begin these assignments and I would literally not know where to start at all. It's like I would just have no reference of what to even look at, what equations to use, what process to go through. It just felt like impossible. But of course, as I got help from the right people, I began to see a new perspective. I began to see the answers laid out in front of me. And as I was getting the assistance that I needed, it began to click and make sense. But throughout most of my life, I felt like I needed that help. Like I couldn't figure out the answers on my own. But as I've grown into adulthood and grown into manhood, I've had to take various rites of passage in order to evolve out of boyhood and into manhood. To evolve myself at the core. Because I needed to figure out for myself how to solve these problems. Of course, I always had people there along the way to help me. I've had friends, I've had my partner, I've had my family to pick me up when I got down. But at the end of the day, what I came to realize was that nobody was coming to save me. Was that nobody had the answers that I was seeking but me. Only me. And the same is true for you. You, my friend, have the answers. You have the answers deep within your soul. And sometimes it takes many, many challenges to unlock that. To open the door to a new version of yourself. But if you continue to move forward and you continue to find solutions, no matter what it takes, then you will rise to the challenges. You will rise above your current version. And you will transcend beyond the realms of yourself into a new version, the version of yourself that you've always wanted to be, the version of yourself that was destined to fulfill your purpose. Without these challenges, you wouldn't get there. Without these obstacles, you wouldn't be able to see the perspective that you need to step up, to evolve. I remember I had a dream years ago, probably at least 5 years plus. I had a dream that I was guided on this journey. It was a pilgrimage. Of course, like all dreams, you get dropped right in the middle of it. So there I am. I had just walked what I perceived in my dream was like thousands of miles. I'd walked thousands of miles on a quest, on a pilgrimage. I don't know exactly what I was looking for, but I remember I came to this intersection. It was like this giant building, and then I was on this naturey path, and then on the other side was like mountains. So it was almost like I was in between the threshold of the physical and non-physical. It was symbolic because I was walking that line. But it took thousands of miles, hundreds of obstacles for me to get to that point. And as I looked at the building, a lion came out. And a lion is, or rather, the Leo is my zodiac sign. So the lion came out, and at first I had fear. Like this lion is going to eat me up. But then I could feel its presence and its energy, and I began to drop down into myself. I began to feel present in that moment. I began to feel the power of the lion and the guidance that he had helped me get here, unknowingly to me, because at the time I didn't even know what I was looking for. We began to move down that path. On the left side, the naturey side, as we walked down the mountain, or walked down that path, on the left there was a building, a temple. It was like a Buddhist looking temple. And we approached the door. As we approached it, there was, and I forgot to mention, along that journey, I was with several other people that I perceive as monks. You know, they had the typical monk, where they were, I believe they were bald, and they had the monk robes, Buddhist monk robes. So I want to say there was about 3 of them, maybe more. And as we approached the door, we went to open it, and they said they need keys, and there was 7 keys that was needed. They turned to me, asking where the keys are. Then at that moment, I woke up. This showed me that through this journey, I was moving towards this path. And through that door was the treasure that I was seeking. But even in the dream, I didn't know what I was seeking. I didn't know why I was on this journey. I didn't even really know where I was going. But as I got there, it all began to make sense. And it was symbolic to me because at the time, I didn't have the keys. I didn't know what I needed to do, even in my physical life. But it was telling me that I had the keys. They were just inside of me. And the only way to find it was to go on the journey, on the pilgrimage. Because if I did not do that, I would remain where I'm at. I would remain stuck. I would have never even embarked upon the journey to begin with. and I would have stayed in the village or wherever I was at. Again, I don't remember where it began, but I remember where it ended. And honestly, ever since I was a kid, I've had this vision of what it needs to look like, how things need to transpire, not just in my life, but in the whole collective. And that vision has guided me. It has pushed me. It has motivated me when I didn't feel like I wanted to do anything, when I didn't feel like I had the energy or the heart to keep moving forward. I remember that vision, that dream, that medicine that lies within my soul. And it's pushed me. That is like the end point that I'm moving towards. The same is true for you. You have that same medicine within you. You have the keys locked away within your subconscious. But it's up to you to pull it out, to find the solutions that you need, to meet the people, to find the community, and to step into that. So I urge you not to be afraid, to continue to seek and find the solutions, to overcome these obstacles no matter what it takes, to remain consistent in your life. Consistency is what will build your foundation, that will allow you to unlock the doors to your inner kingdom. Grateful to be on this pilgrimage with you, my friends. And it's truly been a pleasure. Again, keep searching, keep striving for more, to level up so that you can become your best self and live your highest destiny. Peace, love, namaste.